On this week's episode of the Books, Booze, and BS podcast, we discuss Book Lovers by Emily Henry. We also discuss Super Bowl halftime shows of the past and food. Happy listening. Welcome to this week's episode of the Books, Booze, and BS podcast. I am your host, Mike. I'm joined this week by Sarah, Brendan, and Lynn. And this week we'll be discussing Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Let's start with what everyone is drinking this evening. I will start with Sarah.
I am having a tequila and seltzer.
No lime?
No, I actually forgot my lime.
So not a ranch water.
Nope. And it's blackberry mango polar seltzer, so it's very tropical feeling.
That might be good.
Yeah.
Lynn?
So I wasn't planning on drinking tonight because I've had a very sick kid all weekend, but then I felt left out. So now I'm drinking a smoked bourbon on the rocks.
So you went from
And it's
0
delicious.
to 100.
Yes. It's bourbon. It kills germs. So if I want to stay healthy.
It is good peer pressure.
And Brendan?
I am drinking an Aperol Spritz.
And I am also drinking an Aperol Spritz.
Yum.
Nice. Same cup?
The recipe of the week. Did anyone try making it?
I did not. I'm sorry.
I
Sarah?
did
Again,
not.
sick kid. So we've been very limited in our options.
Okay.
I also did not because I had already gone grocery shopping.
So by the time this goes live, we are going to try a different recipe than the one originally proposed. We did make it tonight for dinner, and it did not turn out great.
So it's not necessarily the recipe, it's just the way to make it. So there are a couple different ways to make cacio e pepe, and this one, the one I usually use is you make like a paste out of the cheese with some of the pasta water before you incorporate it all. And this just had you kind of sprinkle it on the pasta, and it just ended up with a bunch of stringy cheese. So we're gonna try the other method, and then people can make both. And
Oh yeah,
how good they are.
we can share the failed one and then the B's tried and true recipe that he
I love
uses.
it because I love cacio e pepe. I like to make my own noodles because I'm extra like that.
And it's so funny because when I sent this out, we're coming back from vacation. I didn't want to have to go to the store. I'm like, what do we have on hand? I was like, ooh, cacio e pepe. He goes, did you pick it because it was eaten in the book? And I was like, yes.
I was like, oh, that's really clever. You picked something from the book to make.
Very
Yeah,
good
I-
maybe.
I definitely thought that was the reason why you picked it, Mike.
We'll go with it. Listeners, that's exactly what happened. And best thing you ate in the last week, Lynn.
So before my son decided to get horrifically sick and turn my entire household into lepers, we went to a ski chalet last weekend and stayed. It was on a horse farm. There were 2 ponies and 2 horses that we had access to at all times while we were on the property. It was amazing. Also, a bunch of black labs, which I brought my lab, so she had a blast. And they gave us a house. They filled the cupboards in the fridge with food. So the best thing that I had that weekend was their homemade sourdough. We made French toast out of it and served it with their homemade maple syrup. It was phenomenal.
Yum.
I love a good French toast.
Me too.
Yeah.
Jake ate 5 slices.
You're an F for French toast, Brendan?
French toast is, for me, the bottom of the breakfast bread type sweet treats.
Huh.
I'm a pancake, French toast, waffle.
Oh, I'm crepe, waffle, French toast, pancake.
I'm a waffle, French toast, pancake. I've had like a crepe once. But it's delicious. I love breakfast food, so these are all like wonderful.
Oh
It's
yeah,
all
no,
good.
it's not bad. It's my least favorite of them.
I also find it wildly interesting that Lynn's crepe and pancake are so far apart. A crepe is essentially a thin pancake.
All right. So, assuming my father never listens to this, it's because he used to make pancakes when I was growing up, and his favorite pancake were these like super thin, crispy pancakes. And you know what tastes disgusting to a child? Overcooked carbs. So ever since then, I'm not about pancakes, and
Or
it just
honeydew
ruined
melon.
it for me. Or honeydew melon.
How does one make a pancake crispy?
I think he adds less leavening.
Oh yeah, I guess it wouldn't be fluffy if you left that out. I mean,
Yeah, I think he like halves it or something. So he likes them really dense and crispy.
I love that he's actually making the mix by hand where I'm like, where's the box?
Oh, the first time I had box pancakes, I was like, this is delicious. Why have we never done this?
Sarah?
Oh, I forgot that we were still talking about our best foods. I was just dreaming of breakfast food now. For Super Bowl, we make like this like healthy edamame dip, which it's like it's not healthy because you eat a bunch of chips with it, but it's like edamame and beans and tomatillos and jalapenos, and it's just really
But I get to pretend.
exactly, and it's limey and it's just delicious. And we normally only make it in the summer, so it felt very wonderful to have it in the middle of the winter. So I'm going with that because I've eaten it like nonstop now.
Brendan?
I'm gonna say we both had this, so if this is your Best Buy, I apologize, but we had a pasta when we were in St. Martin, and it was a short rib ragu on pappardelle, which was delicious. I do have an honorable mention of goldfish crackers. It's just
Explain.
it's one of those things that we never buy them, but the airline we took for this vacation was JetBlue, and their snack was goldfish crackers. And I don't know. It's like I don't know if they sprinkle crack on theirs, but they were just so good. We need to buy Costco sized container of them ASAP because I miss them.
I was at work today and I got a salad for lunch and I was like, I wish I'd brought like a snack, like a cracker or pretzel. And he's like, I just had some goldfish. I was like, fuck you.
You know what? The next time I see you guys, I'm going to bring you a smorgasbord of goldfish because we have the butter cookie, the spaceship goldfish. Like we have the pepperoni toddler over here.
I'm unaware of all of these goldfish type options. I remember pretzel, cheddar, and
Parmesan.
Original, which original I never really understood. But
well, you love saltine crackers. I'm sure the original is kind of like a saltine cracker.
Saltines are tasty.
That sounded so judgy, Mike.
Well, I was like, they didn't correlate those two things.
One of the best ones is the Old Bay seasoning ones. We call them spicy goldfish. They're really good if you like Old Bay seasoning.
B was obsessed with the Frank's Red Hot goldfish this summer at the pool.
Really good.
Yeah. Yeah, you might like the Old Bay one if you like that seasoning.
Are you going to call him a bay while he eats them?
Yep.
I was struggling to think of what my top food was, so I will also go with the short rib ragu because it was very tasty. Still sad we didn't get Tres Leches cake at that one restaurant because we never went back.
Ah, yeah.
Did you guys stay at a resort or did you stay like in an Airbnb?
It was a resort, but not an all-inclusive resort.
Okay.
So we're going out for dinner at various places. The resort was interesting because it was big, but there was businesses inside the resort that weren't affiliated with the resort. Like we went to this piano bar every night. It wasn't part of the resort, but it was like we stayed actually in two different buildings while we were there, and it was in between the two buildings.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a weird setup.
I love a piano bar, so.
And then we went hunting for cats after.
As one does,
And
yes.
we found lots.
I think we got to seven cats.
Yep.
And then one was pregnant, so it could be 8 to 15. All right, so let's get into Book Lovers by Miss Henry. We'll do the usual roundtable. We'll discuss our feelings of the book, if we liked it, if we didn't like it, if things worked or didn't work, and then if you had any favorite quotes or sections of the book that you really loved. Before we got on the call, Lynn was raving, so let's start with Lynn.
I really, really enjoyed this book. So I had never read anything by Emily Henry as of a few weeks ago when we did the podcast, and B mentioned that she was his Roman Empire. So after that, I decided to download one of her books for my vacation that was coming up, People We Meet on Vacation. It felt very fitting, loved it. And then I downloaded another book, and then, of course, Book Lovers, because I knew this was coming up. So, B, you have excellent taste as always. I loved her writing. So love interests are not immediately obvious, and I love that because as the reader, I fell in love with them as the protagonist. And as the protagonist did. And I loved seeing them through the main character's eyes and learning not only why they are lovable, but seeing how they prove themselves to be a good partner. So I absolutely fell in love with Charlie about halfway through the book and was immediately hooked. She also does that slow leak of information, and you often have to be patient before all the facts are revealed. And I love that slow drip of foreshadowing and clues. It kept me just coming back over and over. And she had incredible sexual tension. So with Charlie, they hooked up pretty early in the story, but it was done in such a way that it just left you wanting more. And the payoff of them finally getting together was just so sweet because you saw how hard they worked on themselves to get there. So I'm convinced. I loved it. I've fallen down the rabbit hole. I'm continuing to read her work. So specific to this story, the enemies to lover trope is just my favorite. And this dialogue was just so witty and engaging. They had such incredible chemistry together. I actually found myself just craving reading this book. I laughed, I audibly gasped at parts, and I also just loved the different themes that were present. I love the themes of family. Sister love is so incredibly important in my life. My sister has certainly helped me with a lot of the difficult decisions I've had. And I also related a lot to the characters. So I felt like Nora working really hard on my professional career. And I've been told many times that I come off as standoffish in a professional environment. But I'm also a mom. I cry easily. So I felt for Libby a lot too. And I commit hard. So I saw both aspects of my personality in the characters. And then finally, I just love how deep we got into the story and what would be considered a quote unquote light romance style. So I loved the sisterhood, family ties, generational trauma. I was constantly asking the question of whether Libby and Nora's mother was a good mother. And really, I love how it highlighted the efforts that she made, but still how her mistakes influenced her children and their children's path forward. And I also loved the theme of self-love. So Nora was holding a lot of baggage due to how she was raised. It made her harder and feel more responsible for those around her. She constantly saw those differences in herself from her sister and mother as a negative. And Nadine Winters was such a tough read for her because she was just terrified that's who she really is. And she didn't like that mirror being shown to her. She saw herself as the villain. She was the person everyone roots against in the romance movies. And her just biggest fear was that she was unlovable. She didn't like herself. She didn't love herself. And then along comes Charlie. And that turned all around. Charlie had all the qualities that she didn't like about herself. He also had that ruthless nickname. He was hard. He was tough, professional. And she learned to love those qualities in him. And she learned to love the qualities that he had that she didn't necessarily appreciate in herself before. That steadfast loyalty, honesty, hardworking, self-sacrificing. And I just want to point out that they even smelled the same. They used the exact same cologne. Charlie was the foil for Nora. And by falling in love with Charlie, she learned to just love herself as well and let her guard down a little bit. So, and finally, I just want to call out that I love the whole flipping the trope of the big city girl getting the guy and living in the city and living happily ever after. I just, loved that trope being kind of turned on its head. There were a couple of things I didn't like. Don't shoot me. Very small. The mosquitoes just weren't realistic at all. The mosquitoes would have sucked them dry in the South. And mosquitoes prefer pregnant women. There was no way that they would have been working outside or sitting outside at dusk. Absolutely no way. And then nights in the country are incredibly loud. The days are quiet. The nights are really, really loud. And finally, I would just expect far more tourists, given how popular the book is. And that just comes from my living in Connecticut. We still have Gilmore Girls tours across Connecticut. So I just imagine that this town would start expecting to see more and more tourists. So them being kind of out of place shouldn't have been clocked so quick, as so weird by so many people so fast. So I talked a lot there, so I'm not going to do any passages because I talked a long time, and I'll pass it off to the next person.
Which is Sarah.
So, much like Lynn said, I absolutely love this book, like so much. Looking back at my notes, it made me laugh because I used a lot of exclamation points. I had a lot of little hearts. It was just really, really, I mean, as I expected for an Emily Henry. But like Lynn said, Nora and Charlie just were so lovable. So was Libby. And I know Lynn touched on it, but the sisters, I have a sister as well. I loved how she portrayed the two sisters and how different they were, even though they had a very similar upbringing. And I loved that. And also the bond of sisters is just, something so special. If you have a sister, you understand. If you don't have a sister, you'll never understand. And
I have a John.
You have a John that is not a sister.
That John does not. No, not at all.
I don't have a brother, so I'll never understand a brother. So yeah, I loved everything about it. One of the first quotes I wrote down, which again, this is like, I feel like you could relate to these characters, was Nora said, "I really do fucking love a checklist." And I was just like, that's me. I love a checklist. And just, I love, like, most of my quotes I wrote down were short little things. Like she said, smiling with knives. But then her descriptions just make you giggle a little, but it makes you realize exactly what scene she's setting. So she says early on about like the dive bar in town. "This place looks like a Cracker Barrel had a baby with a honky tonk, and now that baby is a teenager who doesn't shower enough and chews on his sweatshirt sleeves."
And yet I know exactly what she's talking about.
Exactly. I think that was perfect. And then, like, just small things. Nora says, "Is there anything better than iced coffee in a bookstore on a sunny day? I mean, aside from a hot coffee and a bookstore on a rainy day." Just all the different relatable things. Another quote I loved was I think this is when Charlie and Nora were like really hooking up for real. She says, "My mind feels like it went straight through a shredder and into a kaleidoscope." And to me, that passion and that, like, everyone being there, like you remember feeling that way, and just seeing those words in writing is just really cool. And then my sister quote that I loved, Libby said it at the end, once they, it was nice in their storyline that there were issues and they put them all out there. And Libby says, "Also, we're sisters. We're stuck together." And that's me. Me and my sister say that to each other quite often. And then at the end of the book, I wrote down that I was literally grinning for like the last like 20 pages. Like I caught myself just smiling at my book because I was just so excited and I could see certain things about to happen. And there was a PowerPoint. And I was just so happy. And to me, I'm so glad that Brendan has brought Emily Henry into all of our lives, because to me, these are the type of books I want lately. And these books I just love to devour. And, even when I don't give some of her books 5 stars, they're all 5 stars, just ranked a little differently somehow. Because they're just all so enjoyable.
This is why we need half stars.
I know. Well, now I have half stars. And so, yeah, so I think that was basically all I have to say, is that it's just, everyone should read it immediately. And it was great.
B.
Well, in case anyone was curious, absolutely love this book. This was my second read of it, so I've been very excited to read it again. The first time I read it, Mike was looking at me. We were in our living room. I read it, and he was just mocking the stupid grin I had on my face because there's
Aww.
something about the rom-com nature of this, but the way she writes it, I absolutely love the snark. I love the banter, the comedy, and just some of those comments. Like she's talking about the book. This book feels like someone watched that Sarah McLachlan commercial for animal cruelty prevention and thought, but what if all the puppies died on camera? It's just some of the ways she said things. It's like, it was just so funny. I absolutely love the characters, even Libby, even though sometimes I was like, I don't know, she's being a little weird, but you you, you kind of sort of understand towards the end exactly why everyone did what they did. Absolutely loved Nora, and Charlie is my Roman Empire of rom-com leads. I just also thought that Charlie and Nora were just such a perfect match. And I thought a little different than how Lynn did. I actually thought that she saw a lot in him that she was actually kind of proud that she had in herself, but felt that would never go well with her personality because of her experiences that she's had in the past. So I think some of the things, that ambition and that drive and, that sassy attitude were all things she's kind of looked for in people that were kind of like her, but it was just never the right match. So I thought they understood each other well. And I really appreciated, as light as this book is, there was a bit of realisticness to it. So there was a third act, quote unquote, breakup, but it wasn't, a silly communication error trope when someone just runs off and they're so upset and they won't talk. And you're like, if you just spoke to each other, this would clear it up. For the length of time their relationship existed, it kind of made sense. She's not now or ever going to give up her career. He's not going to leave his parents in a bad state. And because they had really just kind of reconnected in a month, if she had any change of thoughts of her life path, that would be just not fitting with her character. And in a good way, though. And, if he was like, screw my parents, I'm going back to New York with you, he wouldn't be this amazing guy that you realize, oh, he's not an asshole. He just had a really bad day when they first met. She just had a really bad day. And, I just loved that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're going to ask for more quotes, but I have to get this out just in case you don't. But I'm a grown man, Nora. I can buy my own Bigfoot erotica. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That quote is just, I love it. I mean, that is the type of interactions I love to read. And then you could just tell, like, the way they just got on together was perfect.
I'm going to build on.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to build on that and say the back and forth between Charlie and Nora, where she reads Nadine Winters and like throws her phone, and Charlie goes, "What's wrong with your phone?" And she says, "The phone's fine. It's the the sociopathic bitch that lives inside of it." And he goes, "Most of us just call her Siri."
Yeah, I was going to say that you need to do that Bigfoot erotica quote in your house somewhere.
Oh, we do.
We do.
But I just feel like, and I know this is when I say one of, it's like all of her books have been picked up for adaptations. I am so excited I hope they do justice of the way these two banter, because it's just perfect.
It's really gold, it's just so exciting.
Chemistry is off the charts.
Yeah. But I also loved about her character, which you don't see a lot, that like she was a confident woman. She wasn't looking for kids and a picket fence and moving out to the country. She knew who she was, and she was not disappointed in that. And that it's rare to read books where someone's like, yeah, no, I don't want kids. Like, that's not for me. Love my nieces. This is amazing. They're adorable. I like kids. Just this is not the life for me. And it's nice not to be like, oh, but I met this perfect guy and therefore I've changed everything and I want that now. So again, not that it's a bad life. It was just nice that it's just different than some of the things you see a lot. And even in some of
Yeah, I
the
think
gay romance books, people are like, oh, well, I never want, but I'll have kids now. I'm like, oh my God, not everyone's having kids and moving out to the country.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the parts that I liked a lot about kind of turning the trope on its head of, big city guy moves or woman moves out to the country. They compromise so much about who they are, what they want in order to pursue that life with the love interest. And in this, no one compromised. Everyone knew what they wanted and made sure that they got it.
Yeah, I feel like that made that relationship even better.
Yeah.
Yes. That was goals. 100% goals.
All set?
All set.
All right. Well, I think most of what I would say about the book was said between the three of you. I will say that this is my second read as well. And I think I gave it 4 stars the first time around. But I upped it to 5 after this
Yes.
read. What?
I gasped you.
And I think it was because I think this was the first Emily Henry book I wrote, and I think read, and I think it was like my first foray into like this new modern contemporary romance, really. And I think like as I was reading more, I was like, okay, it probably deserved a higher rating than a 4. And then going back and rereading it, I'm like, yeah, it definitely required a 5-star. But I will stick specifically just with quotes since I think I have a ton of them. I catch myself calculating how many American dollars she's wearing. Libby calls it my disturbing middle-class party trick, but really it's just that I love pretty things. How does a person go from living here to moving to a place where the hottest destination is the Canadian Potato Museum? Not necessary, she says. I'll be crying too much. There won't be any pee in my body. I had no idea you had such a comprehensive understanding of science.
I love Libby for that line.
Yes, I outright inquire about fetishes up front. It's not that 30% of men announce their kinks 20 minutes after meeting, but that's my point. The last time my boss, Amy, went home with an unvetted woman, she turned out to have a room that was entirely dolls. Floor to ceiling ceramic dolls. I cannot imagine walking in seeing a room of all those like creepy ass dolls staring at you. Gross.
Being torn right
Terrifying.
And how inconvenient would it be to fall in love with a person only to find out they had a doll room? The answer is very. I think Libby putting in the dating app about a lumberjack. If there's one thing that makes me horny, I say, it's deforestation. And then Charlie with Nora, of course, he says, that's what sharks are known for, manners. This description just grossed me out, but I fully knew exactly what this was. I break into an easy jog, the air's moisture cooling in all my creases.
Oh.
Mm.
She's trying to marry you off to a pig farmer, Stevens. And then I think this was Nora to Charlie. And you who, no offense, are about as delicate as an antique pickaxe. Libby, they might not need our help. Or no, that is Nora. They might not need our help or want it, she snorts. I saw a copy of Everyone Poops shelved next to a 1001 chocolate desserts cookbook. Traumatizing. When she finds her stash of Bigfoot erotica under your race car bed, maybe the ship will circle back. You just look like a hot assassin in an expensive wig. All I heard was hot and expensive. Let me give a couple more. I feel like I'm okay. So if you're the wrong kind of woman, then I'm the wrong kind of man. Hot. And just a nice quote. I think, I whisper, you're one of the least disappointing people I've ever met.
Oh.
And, okay, one more. Is spa meant to be said as a sigh or a scream? And then, I hate to muddy things even further for you, but back when I lived here, it was called G-spa. So I guess the pronunciation depends on how you think an orgasm sounds.
So a quick aside, but the whole Burger King portion of the book definitely felt very Mike J. coded.
Except it would be McDonald's, not Burger King.
Yes. Was finding out that Libby was not actually a vegetarian and eating hamburgers.
I will say, though, a good Whopper can be very delicious, especially if you dip it in their zesty sauce.
I will say
especially when you've only been eating salads.
Oh, yeah. And there was one reference to when they were drinking the local wine. They're like, this has to be the worst I've ever had. Along with another that's actually pretty good. That describes every Connecticut winery. We're like, they have a lot of shit wine, but they might have like a couple that are good.
Yes.
Unless you go to some of their very bad wineries and there's nothing good on the menu. Like the one that serves a pumpkin wine.
Ooh.
I guess from here we can go to actor casting. Sarah?
So it's funny because I felt like early on I had ideas, and then they became such like their own characters that I forgot the ideas. But when I was rethinking about it, I feel like Nora could definitely be one of the Fanning sisters, either Dakota or Elle, or like someone like Blake Lively. I don't know. I just wanted a tall blonde, so like those were what came into my head. And then for Charlie, I don't know if you guys would know him, but Robbie, I think his last name is Amell. He's from that show Upload. I feel like because they described him as boyish, but also so serious that like it was, to me, that was a harder one to cast because you needed like, I don't know, Charlie was his own person. So I had a hard time, but that's the best I can do.
I like the fact he picked the Fanning sisters because that would make casting Libby really easy.
That was the thing. As I was just saying that, I'm like, I guess Libby could be one of them and Nora could be the other.
Did you know they're going to be in The Nightingale?
I did not know that, which I still have not read The Nightingale. So
yeah, so the Fanning sisters would be playing the sisters from that book.
Huh.
Any other casting? Or you?
No, that was it.
Brendan?
So I'll preface this is when I first read this, and this is not an actor, so I do have some actor and actress recommendations for the two main characters. But when I first read it, it was when the Charles Leclerc TikTok memes were going on and on and on. And if you don't know about it, it's not really that funny, but it was hysterical at the time. So when I was reading it, I pictured him, and he's a Formula One driver, not really an actor, but that's just who I pictured when I read it the first time. But this time when I was thinking about it for actually movies, for Charlie, I had pictured David Cornsweet. So he was the most recent Superman. And I also pictured Jonathan Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the Nora character, I was picturing either like a Daisy Edgar Jones or Megan Fahey. So I just got to look. So I think I stole it. And then honorable mention, because I just, the Charlie's cousin, all I could think of was a Hemsworth.
Yeah.
It just seemed like that's just the obvious choice for that guy. I can't think of
Or Shepherd.
Shepherd.
So yeah, so.
Did you have Libby? Did you say Libby?
No.
Huh.
She could be anyone.
All right. So for Nora, I had two. I had Daisy Edgar Jones, Thief, or Brie Larson.
Yeah.
For Charlie, I had either Richard Madden, which is Robb Stark from Game of Thrones.
That's a good one.
Or Aaron Taylor Johnson. And for Libby, I had Haley Steinfeld.
Oh.
I like that one.
And I didn't think about Shepherd until B cast it, and I immediately thought the guy who plays Reacher.
Oh. Okay.
So for mine, I had for Nora, Suki Waterhouse, because I felt like she could play that like tall blonde ice queen, but also be a little bit goofy and be able to slip and fall in horse shit. For Charlie, I almost put down Jonathan Bailey, but then I finished the first 4 episodes of Bridgerton this weekend. Again, sick kid, can't really do much. So I put down Luke Thompson because he's very fresh in my mind right now. And then for Libby, I just tried to match the Suki Waterhouse, so I went with Melissa Benoist.
What is she in?
the superhero movies. She just looks like Suki Waterhouse, but shorter. That was essentially why I
Oh,
went with it.
is she the new Supergirl?
Yes, yeah,
Ah,
I think so.
I almost had Suki Waterhouse for Libby,
Mm.
but we'll make her the Nora. I think everyone's touched on this, but would you read any more Emily Henry books?
Obviously.
I wrote down duh.
I've already downloaded Beach Read to read next, so yes.
Hopefully, Great Big Beautiful Life comes in for my vacation in a couple of weeks.
That'd be good. It's a
That'll
good
make
book.
me happy.
Lynn, did you know that People We Meet on Vacations on Netflix is a movie?
I did, and I might have watched it on my way home from Mexico.
The book was definitely better.
Definitely better. One of the things that I was kind of let down about was in the book. What I'm gonna completely blank on the names, but when she's up in Canada with that river rafting dude that she makes out with, and then kicks her out because she doesn't want to sleep with him. In the party, they talk a lot about acro yoga. So I got so excited that in the movie they were going to show a bunch of acrobatics and acro yoga, and no, it was just focused on drugs.
Which is
Which, I
also
mean, again,
fine.
it's also fine and part of the acro community, but I was just hoping for some fun tricks.
I wasn't. I know that I've seen a lot on social media. People either were like, "This was awful adaptation," or "This was great." I enjoyed it, but I kind of went in with it knowing and also it had been a while since I read it, and I purposely didn't reread it just to watch it and then get disappointed. But I thought if I watched it without ever reading it, I would have enjoyed it. So I just kind of went in with that mindset of it's not
Yeah,
going to be better.
Well, and I think for me, I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen a lot of interviews with Emily, where she's explained how it's different and why it's different and the choices they made. So I've heard good things about it, that it's enjoyable. So I'm still really excited to watch it, even though I know it's different.
I think
yeah, I enjoyed it. And I had just finished reading the book, but it's a Netflix adaptation. You just have to gear yourself to that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I think the way that book was written with the years and the different vacations, it should have been a limited series where an episode was dedicated to each vacation, and you could start it out with the interlude between the episodes or between the vacations and then go to the next vacation. I think it would probably been done better if it was in a limited series.
Yeah.
I do not disagree.
Yeah, I think that they didn't really show why she fell in love with him in the movie very well. A lot of the memes that I saw about it were people we meet on vacation asks the very important question of what if a guy is hot but boring?
And the thing I'm thinking about, if it was done as limited series, I don't know if anyone else, I know B watched it, but the show One Day that was on Netflix, essentially the book is these two people meet up the same day every year, and it was done well in the show because each day was dedicated to an episode.
Still on my list to watch, but I love that book so much.
They had zero on-screen chemistry. Awful.
Oh, that's disappointing.
I mean, I thought the show was good, but the chemistry could have been improved.
I'm only here for the chemistry.
Did you find the ending satisfying? B.
Yes.
Lynn.
Absolutely. I mentioned this, that I love the fact that she didn't compromise her happy ending. She didn't leave the city in order to make it work with Charlie. She didn't follow her sister to the countryside, which, by the way, I called halfway through that's the secret her sister was hiding. But that's neither here nor there. And I feel like she set things up for herself so neatly for things to wrap up nicely. She had the apartment, the life with Charlie, all set up in New York, and none of that worked out like that towards the end of the book. And it eventually did work out and they got their happy ending, but I think part of it was learning that she shouldn't compromise herself for love. She didn't have to protect herself. She could be open and she could make herself and her happiness a priority. She no longer had to put her sister or her work or anything else ahead of that. So I loved the ending.
And Sarah.
Yep, like I said, I was smiling like a dork at my book, and the fact that her family and loved ones, well, both their family and loved ones, saw what was between them and again made a PowerPoint on how to get them to make it work. It was just so delightful.
All right, next Christmas, I'm going to make Sarah a PowerPoint as her Christmas gift.
I mean, I make a lot of PowerPoints. The fact that they went about it in PowerPoint makes me smile. It is a good tool.
And obviously, I love the ending. So no suggestions. Perfect.
All right. If we are going to move on, I have one last quote that we need to talk about, which, if you offer to lend me your Crocs again, I am going to sue you for emotional damages.
That's a good one.
I admire that statement, and I feel that statement deep within my bones.
We actually had a very big conversation on vacation amongst the four of us about Crocs and how they're unnecessary. Unless you're a child and it has to like have them easily washed.
Yes.
I was going to say my son lives in Crocs.
Little
Adults.
children, 100%.
Yes.
Or adults that put those little, like, what are they called?
I know what you're talking about, the little like decoration thing.
Yeah.
Gibbets.
Of course you
Gibbets.
know.
I knew it too. I only know it because the schools we work for, that's like the swag they give kids.
I only know it because it's a constant question on Game Show Network.
We watch a lot of Game Show Network. When we work all week, you need something that's mindless.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, I love that you brought that up, B, because I feel like every other line of this book was just genius. And that's why Mike should have made it a 5 immediately.
Yeah.
I know.
Not on the second read.
Sarah, what did you give it?
But only because I have some Emily Henrys that aren't a 5, so now I feel like I can judge Mike for having one that wasn't a 5.
All right, let's move on to our bullshit topic number 1, which is Super Bowl halftime shows. So this episode is being recorded the day after the Bad Bunny show.
Woo.
I loved it. I did not know much of what he was saying, but it was a vibe. I was dancing. I loved all the cameos. I could have swore I saw Pedro Pascal and Cardi B. And I had to go look up afterwards to see if it was them. I was like, am I just seeing things or hoping that like Pedro Pascal's there? I'm like, nope, he was there.
I'm so happy to be there.
Yeah. I loved finding out afterwards that the wedding was real as part of the performance.
Yeah, evidently they invited him to their wedding, and he kind of countered with, well, what about if you have your wedding at the Super Bowl?
I think that's like awesome.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Ricky Martin, who has not aged a day since we were youngins.
No, he is a vampire. How does he still look that good?
He's 54 years old.
I can't believe he looks the same as when I was in 7th grade. Obsessed with him.
He sounds just as good too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like if he can, if like the Korean skincare world was like, we need you as our spokesman, like so many, subconscious men would be like, oh, if that's what we're using, sure, I'll pay for that.
So let's talk top 3 Super Bowl halftime shows in your opinion. And I did put the context of these are ones you have to remember in some way of watching.
Can we all agree that Bad Bunny isn't in the running because we all enjoyed it and it just happened and these questions came before?
Correct. I did. I was going to put him as like my honorable mention of I really enjoyed his show, but it was not included because yes, we were asked this beforehand. So Lynn, top 3.
So my first one, Lady Gaga, that's a layup. Like, I feel like that's just that's everyone's favorite. She did an absolutely fantastic job. It was such a good show. My sleeper was actually Kendrick Lamar. So I was not a fan. I really didn't know much about his music, and I really enjoyed that Super Bowl. I thought that he did a great job. He had a great message. He balanced things very well.
When he
Plus,
looked
I
at the
just
camera when dissing Drake.
yes. See, that was iconic. And then my personal favorite is the Rihanna halftime show. And that's because when I watched it, I was in Aspen. By the way, I was in Aspen in a multi-million-dollar home, which was actually capped because Aspen's so wealthy that they need housing that's affordable for people that actually work at the mountains. So this was some of the subsidized homes for the millionaires because the billionaires were bidding up the houses so aggressively. So crazy that these people were like apologizing to me and that oh, this is only a $5 million house. I'm okay. I'm okay. But Rihanna was pregnant during that show, and it was actually that day that I found out I was pregnant with Jake. So that's why it has a very special place in my heart.
That's nice.
And then I'll just call out that honorable mention is Beyonce. She did a fabulous performance. What ruined it for me was the photos that she tried to squash afterwards. I think she should have just embraced it.
Brendan.
So my top three, I'm going one I'm considering nostalgic, which is the Aerosmith NSYNC Britney Spears one, because it was ages ago, but I still remembered it. So I feel like that kept a little bit of a lasting impression in my mind. I definitely also had Lady Gaga, and I had Beyonce and Beyonce related. So when she came out and she did Formation during the Coldplay one, I still kind of consider that just an extension of her Super Bowl halftime show because it was so good. I will give an honorable mention to the Snoop Dre, Eminem, Mary J, 50 Cent one though.
Sarah.
So my number one is the Kendrick. That in our household, we probably watch it on repeat, maybe at least once a month. If we're ever in a bad mood, either me or my husband will put it on. I've never seen Craig obsess over something as much. It makes me laugh when I come home from like the gym or something and it's just on our TV because he'll just be playing it again.
So he likes Teddy. I got it.
So Kendrick definitely, yeah, we love the Kendrick one. And my caveat is there's obvious I need dancing in my halftime Super Bowl show. So you can tell the theme in my top three. My number, I didn't rank the next two. It would be the Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Kendrick, and Mary J. Like that to me was, I mean, that's literally my playlist for life, pretty much is those songs. And then Beyonce. I mean, much like I just smiled when B gave her an honorable mention for both of them, but loved hers. And then Rihanna was my honorable mention because that whole, the fact to have, you looked at a lot of, like, I feel like looking at the list this week, you saw so many that were like Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Kendrick, Mary J. You needed all these people. Where Rihanna, she just held her own and had her dancers with her. And again, just the choreography in these shows is just amazing. So.
All right, so I'm gonna give my top three, and I'll kick us off with the worst three. So my top three were Lady Gaga, shock, Beyonce, shock, and I call it the 2022 hip hop show,
Yep.
shock, with Kendrick as my honorable mention. My least favorite three is the Justin Timberlake show because it was awful, the Black Eyed Peas, and then this is a four-way tie. I'm gonna probably offend a lot of people with this one, but it's what I call the catering to the old white people lineup, which was almost back to back to back to back of The Who, Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty, and Paul McCartney. Boring.
Forgot about the Rolling Stones in there.
Well, there was a big gap, I think, between the Rolling Stones and them, but these four were like 4 and 5 years.
Gotcha.
Brendan, three worst.
I had Justin Timberlake on there as well. That show was just so boring, and I think we were all so excited for it, and it was just a dud, in my opinion. I had The Weeknd on there. I think that was another one where maybe the expectation was a little higher than what it ended up being. And then I had a two-way tie for number one for me was Prince and The Who. Prince always creeped me out. He made me talented, but he creeped me out. And The Who, it was just like,
Who?
why?
I think it was because Nipplegate happened, so they were trying so hard to make things so old white man friendly.
Too much of a
to quote Mike.
there.
Yes. Yeah, agree.
Lynn, 3 least favorite.
So Coldplay, it was just boring. Black Eyed Peas because the vocals were absolutely horrific. And I agree with B, The Weeknd, and I think a lot of it had to do with just COVID issues, but it was a letdown. And then I have to give honorable mention to Nipplegate because Justin Timberlake just ruined a woman's career over that. But
Now I have a question on the Coldplay item. Are we pretending that the Beyonce doing Formation?
yeah, that's separate.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Formation.
Anything Beyonce touches, yeah, anything Beyonce touches is gold. Let's not get it twisted. She's queen.
I don't think I gave an honorable mention on my bottom 3, but Maroon 5 was an honorable mention because Adam Levine just looked so sad up there. Like, it was like, I remember how much I loved Maroon 5 when we were in high school, and I was just like, oh man, you've fallen so far.
Yeah.
I didn't add the Maroon 5 or Black Eyed Peas because I truly could not remember those halftime shows, which is probably
You're lucky.
not a good sign. But I was like, I honestly just don't remember these at all.
So I'm going to jump off what you just said. So I don't know that there's any worst ones in my opinion, but there's the ones I don't remember, which makes them the worst ones.
These are probably the reason why you don't remember them.
Exactly. Like, and it was funny because I was reading through the list and I admitted to Mike, I've been like trying to catch clips to see if anything will jog my memory because I am bad sometimes at remembering things that I watched a long time ago. So I don't really.
And you're drinking. I get it.
I don't have a top 3, but I wrote down Katy Perry, The Rolling Stones, Justin Timberlake, Maroon 5, and Black Eyed Peas.
Shark? I loved Left Shark.
I am not like I like Katy Perry. She's enjoyable, but she's not really my favorite, and so I just remember not enjoying it that much. But yes, the shark was entertaining.
I remember
Left Shark was phenomenal and carried it.
I remember
that's the thing. If the shark is what's going to carry it, like, and I think that's part of it. Again, if it's dancing and it's entertaining and it's a spectacle, like you've done your job. But like you said with Maroon 5, like or Black Eyed Peas, like we all expected a little more.
Wasn't Katy Perry the one where people thought she was introducing a new hip hop artist named Missy Elliott?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Which that
I love Missy though.
On, which that would be my caveat. Like I'm sure Missy did a great job.
She did. Yeah.
Yes.
Who deserves a halftime show?
I mean, Taylor Swift. Can we just I'll say that is one.
I had her on there and I said Taylor, but she's turned it down. So like,
yeah,
that was like a caveat I also had. So Lynn, who did you have outside of Taylor?
Christina Carpenter, because she puts on a good show.
Sabrina Carpenter?
Because, yeah.
You said Christina.
I wrote down Sabrina.
Her bourbon is kicking in.
I was like, who?
Sabrina Carpenter. Justin Timberlake, because he's actually had a bit of a comeback recently.
Justin Bieber.
Bieber, yes.
Lynn's
Why? No, I'm reading off of a list. What did I say?
Timberlake.
Oh my God, Justin Bieber. Yeah, all right. So I've had a little to drink, especially after not drinking for the past week.
I was going to say I'm a little like sleep deprived too,
and not really eating that much because the kid, is limited. But and then Harry Styles was the last one on my list.
Oh, that would be a fun one.
Sarah?
Mike, could you guess my number 1 person?
Macklemore?
No, that would be so that was one thing. Like, I feel like I can't pick my own people because not everyone would enjoy Macklemore, I don't think, but he would be fun. No, my number 1 would be Busta. Busta, I think, would do
Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes. So that was my first one. And then I wrote down Ed Sheeran because I feel like people can't get mad at Ed Sheeran and he would put on a good show.
I also had Ed Sheeran because he's had so many hits.
Yeah, and like just people would like him and he's still relevant now. And he does a lot, he just had like he's like traveling now, and I don't know. He's just a delight. And then I had like women rappers. Like if they did something where it was like Missy, Salt and Peppa, Queen Latifah, and then like Cardi B, and like if they did like a really cool woman rapper situation.
B?
So I think someone who is criminally underrated and would do a amazing halftime show would be Dua Lipa.
Yeah.
Love
Yep.
Dua Lipa.
What do you think I was going to say?
Alanis.
No, Dua Lipa. She has so many hits, and I feel like
Yeah.
people forget about her. But I know she had some performance touring acts in the past, but she's stepped up her game, and she's been really, really good. So I think that she would entertain lots of folks.
And I think we're due for a woman performer. The
Yeah.
last few have been male.
Was that the only one you had?
For the artist, I think deserves one.
Yep. So I actually have a few, and it'll get to the woman performer. The one that doesn't, and I think this is more of a time and place due to popularity. Like if this was late 90s, early 2000s, Dave Matthews would have killed a halftime show. Like everyone would have loved that. But
Yeah.
now it's way too, we're way past.
That is almost becoming the Rolling Stones now.
Right. So the two women I had for it, one, I think she deserves it, but I think our concerns with some of the too slow would not work would be Adele.
Mhm.
I think just her popular songs are too slow. But Kelly Clarkson, she is
I could see
widely loved. And so she has a bunch of upbeat hits. I think she would fill out.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did write down Billie Eilish at first too, but then I feel like she's of a genre, you know.
I really like Billie Eilish, but I felt like her songs are too slow.
Yep. That's what I
for this environment.
And I guess this is more of like the who we think will be next. So we'll go with that. So who do you think will be the next halftime performer? We'll go with B.
So I had two thoughts here. One, because I thought she may have made an appearance, and technically she did this year, but just going with the theme, they've been going to the whole Rock Nation world. I think Cardi B would be something that would be a possibility. I also had, given the fact that he's releasing a new album, Harry Styles.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be shocked if either of them were announced.
Mm.
I hope they don't try to over calibrate after this show and go to like Benson Boone or something, but
But if they did, I wouldn't hit on it as long as it's entertaining.
right.
I'm going to go last because I have a bunch of opinions.
Oh boy.
Lynn?
Kid Rock. No, I'm kidding. So I was torn between Harry Styles and Miley Cyrus, and I'm going to go Miley Cyrus because I think that we're due for a female performer. And I think that she has just kind of she's been on the cusp of news lately where you hear about her, but she hasn't really been been in front of us as much as she has been in the past. And I think she's gearing up to do something.
Sarah?
So really, I wrote down no idea. Whoever is nominated for the Grammys, because it often is people nominated for the Grammys, and then I wrote down a female or a female group of females.
Now, very specific.
What's the difference between a female
women
group?
power? We could just do Beyonce again, and I'd be very happy.
All right, so I think I had multiple ideas based on like the trajectory of like where this show could go. Like if they're staying the course with the current like path they've been having, I can see Drake.
Ooh, I would not want that, but yeah.
If they want someone trendy, it could be Harry Styles or Billie Eilish. I think they'd both be, supported picks. If they want to lean back into country, but not like super country, Zach Bryan.
Mm-hmm. I could see that.
And then, or if they're going the nostalgic route, I had two. It'd be like a 90s kind of like rock kind of thing where it'd be like Green Day, Alanis, Oasis, No Doubt, like a mixture of like that type of performer.
Yep.
Or they go like 90s, 2000s pop, and it could be like Christina Aguilera, Backstreet Boys, some of the NSYNC people, Pink, Britney if she's sane at the moment, probably not, or a
I
Mariah
could see
Carey
Pink
concert.
being interested.
What'd you say?
Ooh. I could see Pink being interested, but I like the Mariah Carey angle.
Yeah, because that would be female, but also going back to older songs.
Yeah. And it would have mass appeal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Super Bowl. You've heard like 65 options here.
I'm sure they're listening to our podcast and taking notes.
Yep, just not Kid Rock.
This is not Kid Rock.
No doubt could stay home too. Gwen Stefani has kind of taken herself out of contention with anything it takes.
Yeah, she's gone a little leaning a certain direction.
Yeah.
Gross.
Okay, bye.
Anything else on Super Bowl before we move on to topic 2?
Nope.
All right, bullshit topic number 2 is food. We will start with, what is your favorite type of food? Is it a certain region? Is it ethnicity? What can you eat all the time? Sarah.
I mean, first off, I'm going to say I like food. So I like it all for different reasons. But like my go-to, if I'm need to be happy, if I'm having a bad day, is Mexican. Like it just give me chips and salsa or enchiladas, and I'm very happy.
And least favorite?
I don't think I have one. Again, see example A where I said I like food. I don't think there's any that I've said, oh, I'm never going to eat this again.
And Lynn, favorite type of food?
Also a big fan of food. My favorite type of food, probably sushi. It's just a go-to whenever we're talking about what we want to get when we get takeout. I mean, Jesse knows that like I'm always going to say yes to sushi, period. I've only had American. I've never had Japanese, so hopefully someday I'll get to try that. But there's just such a variety of flavors and preparations, and you can gear it as healthy or as unhealthy as you want. It's just so good.
Least favorite?
So this, like, I feel like it's kind of cheating. So I have a lot of food issues. So unfortunately, I have to say Southern cooking. They cook with a lot of fat, butter, and lard, and that just tends to make me kind of sick, unfortunately. A lot of things are
Rumbly-tumbly.
deep fried. And I actually have a pork allergy. And a lot of Southern cooking is pork based and uses pork lard in it. So I just can't eat it.
Brendan?
You will not be shocked at this at all, but my absolute favorite is Italian because pasta is life. It's so good. And my least favorite, I'm gonna go Indian. I can't do curry, and oftentimes the food just does not look or smell appetizing. So thanks, but no thanks.
It's funny, one year I think Brendan had bought this, was it a pot roast or was it corned beef?
It was a corned beef.
It was like a sauce to cook the corned beef in. This shit had like 30 ingredients on the label. He's like, this has curry in it. It was like the 21st ingredient, which means it had like one of the smallest amounts.
And I was the one who bought it. It was from Williams and Sonoma. It was like a St. Patrick's Day Guinness corned beef simmer sauce. I opened it and I smelled it instantly. It's just, I don't know why, but it's a big no.
I had curry paneer for dinner tonight. You would have been very sad at my house.
On one of our boat rides when we're on our trip, they gave jerk curry chicken skewers. And I was like, more for me, yay.
But just to be very clear, I did try a bite before I gave him mine. And I was like, nope. But
Good job.
I tried it.
So there are a lot of different curries out there. Like, can you do a Thai curry?
I don't know. I don't know what the differences would be.
My guess is no.
So,
So
curry is
like
just
the sweet aspect of curry. I don't know if that's it. I don't know if it's just the sweet mixed in, but there's just something just does not sit with me.
So curry, I believe the word refers to just like a collection of spices, and every single ethnicity kind of has their own collection of spices. Like you could probably say taco seasoning is a Mexican curry. So it might be something that's used frequently, like cardamom or something that it goes into Indian curry, but it might not exist in like a Thai curry.
Yeah, and that would
So
be
worth
something where I
trying.
would be willing to try.
I can respect that.
But and usually, and again, a lot of the things I've tried them and it was just no. But if it doesn't smell bad, if I don't like get that weird smell, and I would give it a shot, but it would probably have to be in a controlled environment because I don't want to go out to dinner and be like, all right, I'll have a curry for dinner, and then be like, nope, can't eat.
Yeah, no, you'd have to try it from one of us.
Yeah, exactly.
I also went with Italian for favorite type of food, just because I think like even if you don't want pasta, there's so many different options in Italian that are just nom noms. They usually involve cheese. My runner up was barbecue because I do like most barbecued meats, and then usually barbecue has some very delicious side dishes.
Just trying to kill you, Lynn.
It doesn't have to be southern; it
So,
can be northern.
Yeah, so barbecue used to love, and then I got horrific food poisoning in Austin. I have not been able to eat it since.
Oh.
I'm trying. I'm trying to get myself back into it.
My least favorite is just generically seafood. There's very little seafood I like. Most is just disgusting to me.
Makes my heart sad for you.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
What is the one meat? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, so my one meal is seafood. I actually put down fresh seafood while looking at the ocean.
Now, is there a
light
specific type of seafood?
lobster, raw oysters, clams, corn, etc. It's light, it's satisfying and delicious. I will say in practice, what I learned in Mexico is that what I actually eat every single day without fail and get super excited is a plate of fruit. The resort that we stayed at had each morning mango, passion fruit, pink guava, yellow dragon fruit, and I ate it with fried plantains and a banana smoothie and was so happy every morning.
Oh, I feel like there's like eggs or something missing. Or pancake
Occasionally-
waffle French toast.
I occasionally would stick like a hard boiled egg in there or something, but no, I really just wanted to eat fruit nonstop.
Sarah, one meal you could eat every day?
So it's on pizza. Pizza to me is, you could have so many different types. It could be, I just like pizza. And when I was a kid, I used to say ice cream was like my, the thing you could eat forever. But then I grew up and realized pizza is way better than ice cream. And then honorable mention, the lobster risotto from J. Gilbert's. I used to say that would be
yum.
that, and the salmon. That would be like if I was on death row, that would be my last meal. And then they went and changed their menu. And you can't get the lobster risotto anymore.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's good that I'm not going to be on death row anytime soon. Hopefully.
Where were we when we saw lobster risotto and we said, oh, Sarah would be happy with this?
Carbon's Prime?
What's that? That's what I was thinking too. Maybe give that a shot, Sarah.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Brendan?
So this was tough. Obviously, it was going to be a pasta dish, and I went with cacio e pepe, and I did that before I knew about the recipe. Maybe, possibly. But
Oh,
either way,
you
that
and Mike
probably
were meant for each other.
I mean, I would probably wouldn't be upset if I could like throw in a red sauce, like a vodka sauce at one point, just like to vary it up a little bit. So I sometimes get a little too bored with foods if I have it too much, but cacio e pepe is one of my favorites.
It's going to be a bacon cheeseburger and fries for me.
Gas. Shock.
Yeah, no one is surprised.
Lynn, 3 foods you refuse to eat.
All right, so this is going to be controversial. My number one is heavy garlic flavor. Now, my mother has an allergy to onion, and my sister actually has an allergy to garlic. So I'm wondering if it's something related to that because garlic tastes very musky and bitter to me. However, when I was pregnant with Jacob, that changed completely. It suddenly became this just incredibly complex, almost sweet flavor, and I could not get enough of it. I ate garlic throughout my entire pregnancy, and it was delicious. And then I had Jake, and it went away. And I'm very sad about that. So is that what normal people taste when they're tasting garlic? Because that's delicious. That's delicious. And I'm so sad that flavor is just not present in my life unless I'm knocked up. So my other two are butter. I've just never really liked the flavor. And bacon. I have an allergy to pig products, so it just tastes like pain to me.
Brendan?
My first is seafood, any seafood. And anytime people ask me, they're like, well, what about this? I'm like, no, just if it's from the water, I just don't like it. I don't like tuna fish sandwich. I don't like sushi. I don't like lobster. And like I've said about other things, I have tried so many different seafoods. I've tried swordfish. I've tried tuna. I've tried different white fishes. I've tried lobster. I've tried shrimp. It's just a big no. Blue cheese, disgusting. And
My husband would agree.
and anything truffled. It tastes like burnt rubber tires. It's disgusting and terrible. People, please stop putting truffle fries on the menu and making that your only option, or make truffle an option. Don't make it like the only option. It's trash.
I had truffle pasta in Italy, and it actually had real shaved pieces of truffle on it, and it was delicious. And now, ever since then, like the truffle oil that's so popular here, yeah, it's a letdown. It's not as good.
I love truffle.
Me too. But to each their own, and I agree with you, B. It should be an option.
Sarah, 3 foods you won't eat?
So I'm saying this one with a caveat. In the last 10 to 15 years, I've learned to like a lot of foods. I was a very picky eater as a kid, and so was my sister. And so it was funny because I couldn't think of anything at first because I'm like, oh, I eat so much now. But I came up with beets. They're disgusting. They taste like dirt.
I love beets.
Eggplant, because they don't agree with me. I don't mind them, but they don't agree with me. And then I'm not like, I avoid like veal and lamb and, baby animals. I know I'll eat them as grown-ups, but the baby animal thing, I don't know. And then forever, I refuse to eat cottage cheese, but I think that might be my next new thing to learn to like. But it just looks gross. I'm not sure how it'll go. I'll keep you posted.
My 3 are eggplant. Everything eggplant. If I bite into a piece of parm thinking it's chicken parm, and you try to trick me with eggplant parm, there's gonna be a fight.
Jail.
Olives, disgusting.
Jail to you.
And anchovies, especially when you order a Caesar salad at a restaurant and they don't tell you like a full-on anchovy is going to be in the salad. Disgusting.
All right, so I like all of Mike's foods and all of Sarah's and all of these foods. You guys just listed all my favorite foods. Thank you.
I mean, you literally listed bacon, butter, and garlic, which are...
I know.
Yeah, so Lynn, what's the one food widely loved that you hate?
So I felt like I covered that in what I refuse to eat, but I actually put down heavily over-the-top decorated cakes. Like, I feel like there was a real thing going on for a while where people had like these over-the-top decorated, like, to look like other things, is it cake, etc. And I just think it's gross. The cake always tastes stale. Fondant is yucky. It just never tastes as good as it looks. So that is my trendy food. I just can't get on board.
Sarah.
So I thought this was what Lynn just said. I thought it was a trendy thing. So I immediately wrote down kombucha, but then I realized it was something widely loved by people, which I don't actually know anyone who likes kombucha. So I realized I should call myself out and write down fast food burger because I've never had one. And
what?
I'm old and I don't feel like I should try one now because I don't want to love it.
But that doesn't mean you hate it. You've just never had it.
Correct. But
Hater.
I would have hated it. So
how did you go to college with Mike?
She got snack wraps from McDonald's.
I ate chicken fingers, so I was a chicken nugget kid. And so we never had fast food burgers as kids. So me, my sister, and Craig have never had a fast food burger. Steph might be off that wagon, though, now. I think she might have had them now.
But I'm shocked. Mike J made sure I tried a burger from every fast food place in high school.
No, I just, a lot of people, like, and I mean, I'll try it at some point, maybe, but I just don't even, I mean, we don't eat a lot of fast foods. There's also that, so.
I, too, have never eaten a fast food burger.
What?
You literally just said you love a Whopper.
and we literally got one at 1:00 in the morning after we landed from our trip.
I love burgers. So, I mean, I've had fast food adjacent burgers like Sonic. No, I haven't had Sonic, but you know what I mean.
Would you consider Five Guys fast food burger? Or...
No, that would be fast food adjacent.
Okay.
Cheers to like the main players.
Yeah, like I've never had a McDonald's or a Burger King or a
Wendy's.
Yeah.
I've had all of them.
Sorry. I just stopped eating. So that's why I figured I should put that down as a thing.
Brendan?
I'm looking at someone specific right now. Hawaiian pizza.
See? I'll have the Hawaiian pizza and you could have the fast food burgers.
It's just olives.
You're just sticking with the olives.
And like every time like we make something with olive oil, he's like, "This tastes like olives." I'm like, "No, olive oil does not taste like a gross olive."
I also don't like olives, so I'm there with you. But
heavenly nuggets from God.
Agree. Good olive oil that tastes exactly like olives. There's so good with a little bit of salt on a piece of bread. Yum.
Yummers.
Yeah,
Yummers. And I love olives.
Like olives. Olive oil is literally it tastes like olives.
No, it doesn't though.
Yes, it does.
It does.
Sarah, you and I are aligned on this.
Yeah, the two of you are like, we don't like olives.
Which should prove that it doesn't taste like olives if we like olive oil.
Again, it's adjacent.
Crazy. You're gonna walk out of here in a huff.
You're gonna walk out of this recording.
Yes.
We're definitely all in the same room.
Me and my bourbon will go sit somewhere else now.
Well, I do have one surprise for the end of the podcast. It is that I have another surprise that Brendan told me I forgot one of the questions. What food do you think will be trendy in 2026? Lynn.
I think small batch craft ice cream with interesting flavors and combinations. We're already starting to see it pop up in a few places. There's honeycomb in Chester. There's grassroots in Granby. So think like chili chocolate, pawpaw fruit, blackberry basil, goat cheese raspberry, olive. So Ben and Jerry's, but elevated.
Brendan.
So I had a couple things down. One, mostly because I've been seeing it lately a lot already. They're just pummeling the market with all these different type of instant ramen noodle things. Like there was a new cheesy ramen noodles. We just got extra saucy, spicy one, which is very spicy.
Very spicy.
But I feel like I'm seeing a lot of those noodles. And it's just they're easy to make. So I feel like that gives an opening to a market. Flavor-wise, I feel like Tajin.
Tajin.
Tajin. Obviously, I feel like I think, is it Dairy Queen right now that has some Tajin, like ice cream and drinks, I think. But I feel like that's going to be a flavor like hot honey is now that will eventually become a thing. I know it's a thing in general, but I think like a mass thing. And I picked a nut.
Yeah, I love Tajin on mango. Oof.
Oh, those mango margaritas.
Yeah.
That rim.
And I picked a nut just because I feel like there's always a...
Is it you?
It's a... like, obviously, pistachio is having its moment. So I feel like there's got to be some nut that's going to be next. I'm hoping it goes retro and goes back to pecan. And I say pecan.
As you should.
Pecan.
And that you said there's always a nut. that might be the title.
In this podcast, we talk about nutting.
Mine is going to be, and I think Crumble was starting to kind of test the waters with this, trendy brownies. They had their Dubai brownie recently, and I think cookies are having their moment, but I think it's going to be time like cookies are going to start to go down. A dessert always has to have some sort of trend going on, so trendy brownies.
I
That's
like it.
another
I
thing.
love a good brownie.
I was going to say that's another thing that people love that I don't really like is brownies.
Blasphemy.
What
I'll
about
take a cookie every day. My trendy food was the fact that there's protein in everything and everywhere, which protein's a good thing, but the fact that like Starbucks has protein in their coffee now, and literally you walk down the aisle in the grocery store and it's like protein, protein, protein. So,
Dude,
Yeah,
there
no
are
one's gonna be able to
contenders
have
for
like a.
war. There's a war on
There's so much.
protein.
There's so much protein in everything. Like people are gonna start having like issues if they're not getting their fiber with it.
yeah. Hungry, by the way.
I am a little hungry. I go for a snack, maybe some goldfish.
A cookie.
Some protein.
A Whopper.
Oh, a burger. Yeah.
So what was our other surprise, Mike?
Oh, so the surprise is
Surprise, surprise.
surprise, surprise. You guys have a week off from the rapid response segment because I didn't prepare for it.
Way to be first day
That's
back
like
from vacation.
Yes, we'll
that's
call.
like the most stressful part of this call, so I'll take it.
So it'll give me a week to prepare some new ones. Come back better
You
than
really
A new start.
diabolical.
I was
yes.
worried that you were going to ask us like football related things and like I would just fail at it.
I was actually the original surprise was going to be like, it's your turn to hit me with rapid response.
You can't do that on the
It's on you, like on the right now. You have to come up with it.
Yep.